You are listening to Alaska After Dark, internet radio for Nightkind.
We're talking to my guest, Stefan Henderson, patriarch of Clan Resurrectus. What is your view on influence that the internet has over things now, as far as, let's say Facebook?
Well, yeah, Facebook would be a good example because even the boards back in the day were a more tight-knit group than Facebook is. Facebook is a useful tool. It's been very positive on being able to reach out and find other people and establishing relationships and friendships. On the other hand, it's been very negative at the same time. It's allowed people to reach out and strike people, slander people, mudsling. There are so many negatives to it that it's hard to see that there's any positive sometimes. It's not the internet itself. It's the people who use it. It's the age-old argument that guns kill people. No, the person holding the gun kills people, when ultimately it's the bullets that kill people. So, it's one of those things that the people that use it either use it or abuse it. And Facebook is a prime example. Any social media is a prime example of things getting out of hand. And it's a lot different when you can be in Australia, for example. I'm using that for no other reason than it's on the other side of the world. You can mess with someone in Oregon and piss them off, and there's no real recourse. And that's the bad part, because you wouldn't say those things if you were face-to-face with someone.
Oh, no.
They're not retribution. So, yeah, it's created a lot of keyboard warriors. It's created a lot of online heroes or villains, however you want to look at it. But the problem is it can be a useful tool. It can be a useful ally, or it can be used for bad purposes.
Do you think I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you think the OVC is a bad idea?
Now I'm going to have to pause on that one for a second, because there's so many ways to look at it. Again, on the positive side, you're able to reach out and find people that odds are, given 100 years, you would never know, because they live somewhere else, and so on and so forth.
So in a communication side, it's a good thing. But then establishing a community online?
It's not so much a positive thing. It really isn't, because once you start losing the personal touch, then all you are is random bites on the internet.
Or walking around like the Walking Dead.
Exactly.
Staring at your phone. And we'll just insert that music later. Everybody's like walking around with their phone or their tablet, lost and not communicating really with anybody, not looking at anyone.
Exactly. Again, it's hard to really establish true relations or friendships with people if there's no personal interaction, and that takes being face to face.
And this is one of the reasons, folks, that I do interviews like I do. I mean, if I had the chance, I would probably be where Stefan is right now with a microphone. Because, the personages, that's where it really counts. That's where it really counts, and I'm not a real big fan of email correspondence when it comes to interviews, because you lose out. You definitely lose out. I could do an email correspondence interview right now with somebody and have somebody totally type it up for me, and they would never know the difference.
Exactly. It definitely takes away, the meaning and inflection, body language, and the look in the eyes. There's a lot that can be misleading when you send someone a text. It can be taken several different ways, just like any religious text. You can read a book and get something from it, and someone else can read it and get something totally different.
Or there's that person out there that has to top the other person. It's like they make a statement. And then it led into the whole screenshots of who said what and what was said.
Exactly.
It just goes, that snowball effect. Basically, it gets bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
It's rolling down the hill. But this also
Shakespeare would say, much ado about nothing.
This also leads into another question: online houses. What is your opinion of the online house compared to a place where you can actually meet?
It's kind of the same thing. There's always a positive and a negative side. On the one hand, you can create a house, which I think that term has been misused in this particular context. You can make a house online, and you can have people from England, Canada, the United States, South America, all in the same house. Hey, that's a good thing. Do we all see things the same way? Okay, that's why we're in this house, so we're good. then it allows you to put out information in mass for these people instead of repeating yourself 10 or 20 times. So, yeah, it's a good thing in that sense. On the other hand, the original houses were in our community, right where we lived. They were havens. They were places people could go and interact. They could break bread together, which is important, and have that personal learning experience that you cannot get online. I don't care how many videos you put up or how many photos you put up or how eloquent you are when you write. It doesn't take the place of personal contact. It never will. So online houses, they have their place. The problem is they don't learn their place. Some of these people start these online houses and they let it go to their heads, and it becomes like, my God can beat up your God. Our house is the best, and all of you that disrespect us are going to war, blah, 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 blah. So, again, it comes down to the people involved.
And if your server goes down, then where is your house?
Exactly. Yeah. Where's your Moses now?
Hey, can you do that? Can you do that in a Yul Brynner voice?
Oh, that was Edward G. Robinson.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for the.
Where's your Moses now? See. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if something goes wrong, your computer breaks, where's your interaction? I do keep people's numbers. If they give me their numbers and we're talking and they want to talk later or text, I have 90% of my phone is people in the community, not people in the real world, quote unquote real world. Technology does not take the place of personal touch. It never will. I don't care who says what. In fact, they were a couple of years ago, they were talking about us having an EMP coming from a solar flare. And I was praying for it. It's like, oh my God, shut down every electronic device. I want to watch these teenagers run around not knowing what to do because they can't look at a screen. If everything failed, if the internet disappeared tomorrow, this whole planet would lose its mind.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, I totally agree with the importance of human contact, big time.
Well, I'll give an example. We all talk online. That's a great thing. In NOLA this last year, and I said it in a video I did, this event for the Bloodlust Ball this year was the best one I've been to in years. I mean, inside, it wasn't overpowering. The music was great. People were great. But outside, where the tables were so you could sit outside and smoke, and that's back when I still smoked, I got together with, I guess, between 8 and 10 elders from across the United States. And we just sat there and talked and got to know each other better and laughed, had a few drinks. And we're talking till 3 a.m. That was the best part of it for me. Yeah, I enjoyed the event. It was fantastic, wonderful, but the interaction was the best I've had in the community in almost 30 years. So that was the most important part to me.
And that's something to say, really, when you're saying that in 30 years. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, why couldn't it have been any sooner?
Right, exactly. And that's the real problem that we have in the VC or OVC for that matter. If you take them both and crush them together and just say, all right, let's call this C, there is no real interaction. It's all electronic, and that's the problem.